Are you able to do multiple voices?
For example, to differentiate between two people.
Because his great uncle had said to him, with great power comes great responsibility, you must forgive those that trespass you.
That's the Bible. That's not Uncle Ben.
Publicly inspired!
On my planet, I'm kind of a loser.
What the hell is that?
So I think that works better as well because that's what monkey do.
Monkey do, monkey do.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another very special, very unique, and very not what we normally do episode. As you'll see, it's the four familiar faces, the four horsemen of the movie apocalypse, sitting here ready to talk about some background, behind-the-scenes stuff, answering questions, and just getting crazy with it and having fun. So let us know what you think about the format as we jump straight into it. But if you don't know who these people are, I'll introduce them to you because I took painstaking time to really get into who they are beyond the movies and beyond the stuff you already know.
And he's not lying. I can guarantee you he spent seconds of time.
Yes. And we'll start with the one right next to me. He's a freak on the streets and Superman in the sheets. No, because of he wears a Superman onesie. No, because he sleeps in Superman pajamas. I've messed up. Give it up for co-creator Caleb Jansen.
There we go. Yes.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Let's get straight into the details and the hard-hitting questions. This one's straight from the fans. I don't know how they know to ask such relevant questions. The question for you is, why do you swim so much?
Why do I swim so much?
Yeah.
I'm just training for Midmar.
What's Midmar? I'm South American.
South American. So there is a dam in KZN called Midmar. And I'm training for the Midmar Mile. You just swim across the dam. This was a boring question. I'm sorry.
Okay, but you have the ocean right there.
The ocean is 7 hours from me.
You're right. I am bored. We'll move on to the person next to you. He had a mustache in that one episode, but swears it was for Movember. But regardless, he's still our friendly neighborhood plot armor member. Give it up for the man behind the cameras, Jeffrey Caddard. Welcome back.
Woohoo!
To slightly less pressure.
Yeah.
It's always good to get your opinions and sakes. I think you did very well on the last behind the scenes discussion, so it's going to be fun to keep it chill. We will be doing speed rounds again between you and Caleb. So let's just get it right on the first time, like last time, with no repeats or cut questions.
That didn't happen, right?
First try, exactly. So, Jeff, before we get too much into anything else, there is a question for you. And the crazy thing is, the fans always ask you these long, extravagant questions.
Oh, wow.
Because this time it's a four-parter.
Okay.
So just wait for the whole question. It'll make sense and just answer it from there. Do you wear wigs? Have you worn wigs? Will you wear wigs? And when will you wear wigs?
I'm so confused.
Okay, that's my only goal ever with Jeff's question.
I'm actually thinking, is this not from an interview?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so glad you got the
This is a Lord of the Rings interview, right?
It is asked by Mary's actor
to
Frodo's actor Elijah Woods, and then you have to give the same answer to Frodo, which is. There you go, perfect. And then my favorite person to introduce. Her name is Suella, which does mean surprise. See, I surprise you. There's no second part to that. And I introduce to you the drink maker, energy taker. No, that sounds bad. Suella Potgieter. Welcome
Hello,
back.
everybody. Yes, good to be back once more. And disclaimer, I am not a movie critic, buff, or whatever, so don't take my word for it. I'm just here to.
But she is a professional editor.
Yes, you are professional.
I'm just an editor.
And if anything, Vince has been rubbing off on you.
Yes, exactly.
A little bit.
I
I don't want them to have high expectations of me. But yeah, good to be back. Owned of Tebedien, so yeah.
Very weird, and I don't like that they want to get this personal, Suella, but the fans just want to know if you remember to turn the geyser off this morning.
No, I did.
Okay.
No. I asked you to turn it off.
Please keep this professional. We're not married. This is a question for you.
Yeah, I asked my husband, whose name is Vincent Potgieter, who's also sitting next to me, if you turn it off.
Okay, spoilers for the next person I'll introduce. He co-created Plot Armor because he loves fighting so much. Now he's busy making a movie because he's a film fanatic and movie lover and artist. and such. Give it up for me, Vincent Potgieter.
I didn't see that one coming.
Now, I have a question that's been directed at me, so I'll just ask myself. The fans want to ask me, are you able to do multiple voices, for example, to differentiate between two people? Or is it just... So they were asking me,
Are you able to do multiple voices?
for example, to differentiate between two people? Or is it just the one? So you see we have these drinks in front of us today. And these drinks are classically brought to you by Tebedien. So thank you, Tebedien.
Thank you.
Which is the sexy lady next to me. And this is a watermelon medley. Just because you're here doesn't mean you get to introduce to it. I love doing that. Delicious as always and very refreshing. It's a very hot day. If I sweat a lot,
Watermelon.
yeah, it's Oh, so you know that one?
me alone.
Okay, so you know that one. Honestly, this is gonna probably be weird and chaotic. You might think if you watched the previous episode that we were able to get a babysitter this time. No, he's in the next room and we'll mess with this episode at some point. So let's just get straight into it. Let's look at the questions posted by the community. We had 2 question submissions. One was public and one was anonymous. And everyone wants the freaking anonymous route. You guys are being wusses. We want to shout you out. So just be bold. But anyway, here is anonymous topic number 1. I'm sharing. I don't think Jeff was there for this. But this is a conversation Caleb and I had one day where I was expressing to him how much of a movie geek I am. And I really relate to movie geeks. I get them. I'm a film nerd. I know a shit ton about movies. I'm a film geek. And so we went to a little Comic-Con type event, to really just represent. And the first guy we encounter is this hairy dude, barefoot in the parking lot, listening to our conversation and then randomly turning to us and saying, I showered today.
It's like an achievement or something.
Literally, he's not exaggerating. We're literally having a debate on what is socially acceptable presentation wise. And this guy's like, well, I don't know about you guys, but I even showered today.
And it was in that moment that I realized I don't think I'm not a pop culture geek. I realize I'm a film fanatic. And that's kind of the first thing we want to talk and ponder about is what is the difference between a pop culture movie blockbuster geek and a film fanatic? Because I think we do quite represent both of them across a spectrum. Caleb and Jeff, that couch definitely speaks more for the pop culture geek side because they even showered today. And and so
Thankfully, yes.
tell us
Hygiene's important.
how does one... And obviously, this can very easily become a gatekeepy conversation. That's not the point. It's I do think you should shower every day, and it shouldn't be an achievement.
Yes.
And wear shoes in most parking lots. But tell us what would you say? What is a pop culture blockbuster geek? What are you guys different from me?
It's interesting because I don't think this is an official term in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, there's probably a shorter word for it.
I would just say I'm a fan of geek culture. And I think geek culture very much is in line with popular culture. It is what is part of the geek lexicon. So the Star Wars, the everything anime related.
Or Harry Potter.
All of the Harry Potters and the Avengers. Everything that is just very well known as part of the geek culture lexicon. And I mean, if you just look around the set, you'll see, Lord of the Rings, Dragon Ball, Superman. I just love everything that is fantasy and science fiction and superheroes. So I would say that's my draw. And obviously movies is just a vehicle for that. But I love the larger than life stories. That's what I enjoy.
I think, Jeff, tackle the comic book aspect of it because I think that's something you love.
So I love comic book movies, and whenever there's a new one that's been announced, I get super excited about it. And those fall very much within the space of a blockbuster. It did get Marvel movies got a lot of heat not long ago from a director saying that Marvel movies are like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah,
and they tend to feel like that sometimes, but I think you go there for the fun of it and to really get a good experience. With me, in my liking of movies, I think I get a touch on both here and there. I love my blockbuster movies. Geek movies are where I just thrive and I have a lot of knowledge about. But then now and again, I really love a movie that's to go watch it because of the art of it, what went into making it, and the work that went into making it also very fascinates me. So yeah, I touch on here and there, but I think I lean more into the pop culture side of things. So yeah, I think there is a difference between a pop culture geek and a film fanatic. A film fanatic, I think, Vincent definitely hits the nail on the head with that one, because you can ask him a question maybe about a movie that's already come out, or one that's coming out in the coming year or whatever, or a couple of years, and you'll be able to maybe give any comment on it, and that's a definition of a film fanatic.
Yeah, because I think if I have to touch on that, and the reason I realized that I don't relate to the geek side of things, and I'm glad I'm surrounded by people who are, because there's a part of me that can appreciate it through all your eyes. But why I don't relate to that is because I actually don't enjoy the culture around film, because most of the time it's ironically like gatekeeping, and I hate that term, but it's this idea of this is what this type of fan looks like, or it's just people that lose their lives in a specific culture of film, which I don't enjoy, because I don't think you should lose your life to a topic. And then what I appreciate filmmaking for, and even the obviously big blockbusters and stuff as well, is I think another word for a film fanatic is a snob. Like that like I'm thinking there's no way I can approach this without sounding snobby. It's not that, it's just I love the art of filmmaking and storytelling, and that is expressed through a lot of these movies. But I am someone that I rewatched Whiplash the other day, and it's so hard for me to not make that my favorite movie. And then my favorite movie is Swiss Army Man, and it's not going to be the flashy things. It's the things that I love looking under the layers. So the way I grew up,
they make you feel different than you would about a blockbuster. Right?
And I think I appreciate movies that try to appeal to less people. The truth is, of a big blockbuster, you're not going to get a $20 million end game. So they're going to put $300 million into it. And for that to be successful, they have to appeal to a large audience, which is going to include China and India. And you can't communicate niche like topics to that audience, which language barriers and all that stuff. So you don't get that from those movies. Now, that being said, I do think Phase 3 or whatever of Marvel did such a good job at handling those type of topics on a broader scale. But I do enjoy the smaller type of things. My question to Suella, though, is how does it feel to be surrounded by both those types of people and be bombarded by them from both sides?
Overwhelming.
Yeah, well, obviously, sometimes you learn something and you find something very interesting that you get, oh, cool, this sounds cool, I'll check it out. And then the other times you just zone out. So it just one of those, it happens, because I love like a type of genres. I love genres more than I love the nitty gritty of what a film is, or the the pop culture or whatever. I'm hardly ever interested unless it's like, oh, I like this person, they're good actresses, I want to see what more they've done, and then I go do that. So yeah, I love more of thriller, murder mysteries, of like supernatural sometimes, but that's mostly about it. Everything else is like Vincent introduces me to something, I'm like, that's really cool. That's like I didn't know that existed. That's fine. That's cool. And I started liking that, but I won't watch it ever again.
That is true. She does not repeat. But it's an interesting thing to look at.
I mean, there's times where you and I have had conversations, and I asked you about a movie you had watched. Yeah, maybe this is something you'd watch, but not Caleb or Suella, you know?
And vice versa. Caleb has a deep appreciation for well-directed action and a well-built plot around that type of genre, which I can fully respect. I mean, one of the greatest filmmakers, James Cameron, got his start in action movies, 80s and 90s. Not just Terminator. I mean, True Intent and True Lies. Sorry,
True Lies
is a classic one, and those are great movies. It's going to appeal to different people. That's the beauty of movies, is there's a different crowd for it. I mean, I'm not going to watch anything that just puts an indie like title on it. Like there's the
Swiss Army Transformer.
Yeah,
that's
your
the perfect film for me and Vincent.
No, because there's this movie that came out, A Ghost Story. I don't know if you know it, Jeff.
It sounds familiar.
It's literally a movie told from the perspective of a ghost, and to sell that, nothing happens 10 minutes at a time, and it's so boring. But I appreciated what it is, but I'm not going to love it just because it's that. Yeah, it's interesting. Movies are a spectrum. And then this second question, also someone too scared to carry their name with pride, is they want to know which director is the most overrated. Now, I've got
Can I
some
go
in
first?
mind, but Caleb can definitely go first.
Okay, sorry, this is not for me.
I mean, think long and hard.
Thankfully, I think a lot of people might actually agree with me
Yeah.
now. But I'm going to go Taika Waititi. I think he did some good stuff. I don't think any of it was ever phenomenal. The one I enjoyed the most was obviously Thor Ragnarok. Sorry, can I just say, I'm busy playing God of War Ragnarok, and I was like, did I say the right name there? Anyway, so it's Valhalla.
No, it is Thor Ragnarok.
Is it God of War Valhalla? Is it God of War Ragnarok?
Everything's Ragnarok.
Okay, cool. Cut that out. No, I'm joking. Okay, keep it in if you need to. Anyway, no, so all I'm saying is, like, I feel like Taika Waititi is a perfect example of just self-inserting everywhere, and he thinks his opinion is the only opinion. And yes, he can genuinely be funny sometimes, but the funniness is always at the expense of heart. I can obviously point out a few exceptions. I think Jojo Rabbit does the best balance of emotion and comedy. But most of the time, I'm sitting there going, that could have been a great scene. And instead, he decided to make someone laugh. And the laugh wasn't worth it. I mean, I just think constantly about Thor, Love and Thunder. And there is a deleted scene between Thor and Zeus, which is actually genuinely fantastic. And that one deleted scene had better written dialogue, had better emotional connection, had better character growth and development than anything we saw in the entire movie. But because no one laughs a single time, that's the scene they cut out.
Something I want to add is there is an example that I'm thinking of now where he so beautifully actually does combine humor with depth, and I wish he could like build on that. It's where Odin asks him, "What are you, the god of hammers?"
Yes.
Which is hilarious, but I'm like, that's such a good question.
And also because it genuinely points at Thor's identity, which is the entire point of Thor 3. But then if you look at something like Our Flag Means Death, I genuinely tried to watch it. I thought it was going to be great. I thought it might be something like What We Do in the Shadows. I definitely prefer the series to the movie. But I was like, well, you know what? He's the brain power behind it, so let me take a look. But it's just his ideology and what he wants to say. And I've got no issue. Like, I think all filmmakers should put what they want to express into a movie. But it feels like he only gives us the surface level and there's no meat. It's just, this is what I think, and if you don't believe it, you're wrong. And it's just, you're funny sometimes, man, but you aren't this really deep, super, wow, that was amazing.
He kind of feels like the M. Night Shyamalan of comedy, where he's
Kind
like,
of.
oh!
Yes, a little bit, yeah. So yes, he's done good work. I'm not going to deny his good work, but I won't say that he is this. Yeah. There was a period of time where everyone thought he was going to be the next big thing, and I am actually glad that he's not.
I wish he got better, but yeah, he didn't, so I'm glad everyone feels this way now, which is good. Jeff.
But what do you think is going to happen to him now? What do you think?
What, like,
that's not the question, Jeffrey. That's not the question.
How's he going to cope?
I'm so sorry. Okay, so I went with Quentin Tarantino, but I want to give a quick story time. So about 10 years ago, so that's 2016. See, everyone's reflecting on 2016 lately.
Yeah.
So in 2016 was my first year at varsity, and I moved into a place, and I didn't have Wi-Fi or anything yet, and I didn't have any way to stream movies online. And when I moved in, why are you getting so close? Just listen.
We're talking about
Story
Quentin
time.
Tarantino.
I'm giving context to the story, okay? So I moved into this new place, but I didn't have movies to watch. So I browsed through the owner of the place that I was renting from's like DVD collection, and she had Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. So I'd never watched it, and I thought, let me watch this. And I watched, and I fell in love with those movies. They're really good. Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 are great. I don't know what the collected edition is called, something. But that was good for me. I really enjoyed Kill Bill. But then there's been hit or misses with every subsequent release, of Quentin Tarantino's filmography. Django Unchained, I think, was him, right? That was good.
Okay, good. Keep going.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's all right. But then, I feel so intimidated next to you. I'm pretty scared.
Keep going. No, I can't say anything. I'm not answering this question.
But then I think Inglourious Bastards is one I've watched recently, and I felt that movie was so drawn out. Yes, I understand he does character development and he wants to give a lot of exposition, but I felt it was very dragged out. And I was like, but where was the climax in this movie?
When Hitler dies, I can't get more climactic than that.
Luckily, there's no winner of this round because I do agree that he's overrated for completely the opposite reasons.
But what I'm going to say now, because he hasn't got relevance lately, because he's always been in talks, because he wants to do like 10 movies or something that's always been a known thing about Quentin Tarantino. And no one really knows what his last project's going to be. Now that he's not relevant, he has ugly things to say about Paul Dano.
Yeah, that's unnecessary.
And Matthew Lillard.
It was Paul Dano and Matthew Lillard. Yeah.
Lillard, right? Yeah. But, I mean, only to be relevant and go say ugly things about these actors who actually are really good.
No, Paul Dano is incredible.
He's incredible.
Zombie man.
Yes. And see, that's also
And
speaks
he was weak. No, I'm joking.
He wasn't weak. He's not a weak-looking man. I mean, I really also love Paul Dano in The Batman as the Riddler.
He was weak. No, I'm joking.
No, he was not.
This is a lame joke.
But yeah, I think because he's not relevant lately, he's now just trying to make himself relevant with these hot takes. So I don't know. I think he's overrated. I think his time is done. Maybe let's not have his 10th movie happen. Stop at 9, and we can move on with our lives.
Damn, Jeffrey.
Honestly, I see what you're saying. I do love Inglourious Bastards. And I did love Django. I actually think Kill Bill's the one that's overrated. So
No!
yeah. He's a very interesting guy. I want to say something very bad. I'd
Go for it.
I'd rather have more
Quentin
Tarantino than Martin Scorsese. So that's my take.
That's valid.
Because he is
Scorsese.
Is it 200 or 300 years old? I can't exactly remember. I always get confused. But
what's 200?
Martin Scorsese is old as hell, man.
He is old, and he's still making movies, right?
No, like everybody still loves him.
What's the latest Martin Scorsese movie?
Some gangster movie.
It wasn't The Irishman. He did something else again.
I thought it was The Irishman.
I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, that's not my answer, so it's fine.
But does Scorsese do Goodfellas?
I think so. Yeah. He just did the same movie 7 times. That's the problem.
It's all about gangsters and Italian
But
families.
look, he definitely was fantastic. One of his most underrated movies is Silence. It's a fantastic movie about like the doubting of faith of a bunch of Catholic missionaries.
Wait a minute. Isn't Scorsese the one that said about Marvel movies are like...
Yes, he's the roller coaster.
Okay, so he's overrated.
Yeah. So I guess you get to this point where you just... But whatever. Suella, do you want to add anything?
Who directed that the Gooey Spider-Man? You know, I call it the Gooey.
Oh, honestly.
No, wait. Are you talking about Sam Raimi?
No. Are you're not talking about
Spider-Man 3
Venom, I'm talking about Venom.
Spider-Man 3?
No.
Okay.
So this is very interesting because I wanted to bring this up. Because I don't think you know
Sam
what you
Raimi?
want to add here, but let's see.
No, I
Andy
just don't
Serkis directed that.
I just don't like
Which
the-
is... You don't realize how good
Andy
of an...
Serkis did
No,
Venom.
but this is
Which one?
he did the second one.
Yes.
That's a perfect answer because I also think Andy Serkis is the most failed potential I've ever seen in a man. Because who understands the duality of a character that lives in the same body? One is crazy, one's trying to keep them together better than Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Then you're like, he's perfect for the Venom. That's what they do. And he directed one of the worst movies. And here's the thing. He's directing the upcoming Hunt for Gollum. Andy Serkis is one of the worst directors alive today. He also directed Jungle Book live action, which is the start of the Disney live action stuff, which is the most average movie ever.
The non-John Favreau one. The dark Jungle Book one. Okay.
And it's not good.
It wasn't good.
And Andy Serkis, what the hell? Like, you should be great at this. Like, I'm just jumping on everyone else's other people. So honestly, great answer because he ruined one of the greatest anti-heroes of all time.
I didn't like that at all. That was terrible. Because
What did you not like about Venom?
I just wanted Venom to be like, you know, not goofy.
Yeah.
Not goofy and like jokey and like, oh, I'm here now. This is how I live.
Yo, Eddie Brock is actually a very serious
I just
character.
because now
Eddie Brock. Venom
Venom is
Venom needed to be more serious, more.
He goes to a neon club to cry. Yeah, no. There is almost no movie. So on my letterbox, my lowest rated movie ever is Venom 2. I think it's the worst made movie ever because it's how much it disappoints you. Like, movie 43 is the worst movie. Not really. But Venom is good source material. Movie 43 is not. 34.
Just remember, Venom 2 is Let There Be Carnage.
Yes, it's with the terrible Carnage.
okay.
Because I thought Carnage, brilliant. because you'd think you'd cast someone like the Rorschach, whatever his name is, actor from Watchmen. No, he was terrible.
But Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson was absolutely terrible.
Woody Harrelson was fine. No. He was directed terribly. Woody Harrelson's a fantastic actor.
I think if they changed
that does not matter. He was terrible in it.
But we are talking about directors.
Yeah,
Vincent,
but the end result. I will sacrifice my answer to shit on Venom. You know what? Screw that. I don't care about my answer. I had this deep thing that was just going to get unnecessary and people were going to say I'm rage baiting. So you know what? Screw my answer. I'm tired of being rage baity. I will say the obvious. Venom 2 is the worst movie ever made. And it is like, because Venom 1 was fine. And you thought, okay, you know what? That's a good, not a bad interpretation of Venom.
Great theme song.
Except when he said something like, on my planet I was
I'm kind of a loser.
Yeah. What the hell is that? Imagine a predator. Oh, that's basically Badlands. But imagine a predator go on my planet. I'm a loser. Oh, I can't believe they did that. No, because Predator Badlands also sucked. Anyway, I will say every question moving forward. I will answer by talking how bad Venom 2 is. It is genuinely my most hated answer of.
I'm glad I
just want you guys to know you were robbed of him talking about how much he hates. So,
why do you hate?
I'm gonna bleep when you say that, so they can never know. Now we're gonna go into the next question asked. Can't shout them out, unfortunately. It's a tough one because the question is: who is some of our favorite guests specifically from the last 10 episodes, and who would we really want back? Seeing that I didn't even answer the last question by my own choice, I'll start. I really like when I get to speak to people who talk about from the film fanatic perspective. So I will highlight Warwick as someone I really enjoyed. He comes across as very smart, which I really enjoy, and he has really good opinions, interesting takes. I also really liked Russell, even though he was so chilled and like he was like basically laying down. He had
this is my impression of Russell. I just need a D20.
But I even though I genuinely disagree with so much of like his takes on movies and stuff, obviously I get to enjoy his awesome podcast, which is The Video Store, and we have very different takes on stuff. It was such a cool thing to have him on, and he had no idea who we are, but he jumped on anyway, so I really enjoyed that. So I'll stop there and highlight Warwick and Russell as people that I enjoyed. Suella?
I enjoyed the episode, the comic book episode where it was Dolan, Chad, and Gavin. I thought they were all great. Obviously, I had a favorite. You have a favorite in every episode, and I thought Dolan was quite funny and spicy. So I definitely would want to listen to him a bit more. And Gavin was quite articulate as well. I liked his voice. He should be on radio, actually. He has like a deep voice, and he's a big guy, so that kind of works for him. But I thought that was cool. And yeah, that'd be my two people, I think.
No, they were excellent. I agree. Who wants to go first? Okay,
give it to Jeff.
Jeff, but you can't say Dolan and Gavin like you want to.
I wanted to. They are good friends of mine.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. That was a really good episode, and Dol is very spicy when it comes to opinions, and I think it added a really cool element to that episode. For me, it would be Alec. Was a very good guest. I enjoyed him. I think he was good in that episode, and you know,
there goes Caleb. I see what's happening here.
Sorry. But also from that
weird. It's weird. Just continue. What's that from? I can't remember.
It's Snow White.
Yes. Okay. Continue.
I really love Alec, as well as I'm a fan of Ian. Ian on the music scene and stuff. I love his content on Instagram and everything.
And also Lornell. I watched one episode this year. That was all the same episode. Continue.
Ian is really cool, and I had a bit of a fanboy moment meeting him because I knew of him from social media, and then when I found out he's friends with Vincent and Suella, I was like, this is so cool. And I was like thankful that Caleb like took a photo of me with him, because it was like deep down inside I was like, yeah, rock on. This is so cool.
What I've learned is your inside voice lisps. He's like, yeah, this is so cool.
Thanks, Vince. You must keep that in.
No, it's a good answer. Caleb? Can't say Alec.
I can't say Alec.
Say someone who's my friend, and then we're screwing.
I like Caleb.
Yeah. Give me the Mary Sue.
So, this has gotten spicy. Okay, no, but in all seriousness, I would say everyone that was involved with the final episode,
great.
and also like just the final episode in general, was such a big thing for me, and I would assume by extension as well, everyone here on the Scratches, because we had like a full room full of guests and everybody that loved the show and wanted to be a part of the show. So that was great. But if I have to highlight one specific guest, I'm going to say Canton. Canton is a friend of mine that we've wanted on the show for quite a while. I love Canton he's just one of my favorite people. And we got to do a video game episode as well. I love tackling video games as much as I love movies. Video games is another thing I'm just super duper passionate about. So being able to talk about video games with Canton, that was a ton of fun. But like, I can't choose a favorite in so many words, because I could say I love Colette. I love having Faden on. I love genuinely everyone. I love you all. So no,
if you didn't have to choose, I went for two people because I was like, oh, either one and two, but I can't even go further than that because otherwise it would have been less. I really enjoyed that because I love Sim, obviously, and she'll always make me laugh and stuff, and always a cool person to hang around with. So she would have been on the list, is what I'm saying. It's like the list goes on because there's so many cool people that comes on here.
I just want to jump in here quickly. I think it's so nice that how far we've gone with the journey on Plot Armor, that you've got such a gallery of guests now. You've got a guest that was such a standout here and another one there. Imagine what they would be like if they were against each other. So it's quite nice that you have that those options now for future episodes.
I think if you actually go look at it, I'm not speaking factually necessarily, but I'm pretty sure we have had more than 30 unique guests.
Oh wow!
Which is a ton of people. So it's probably more than that by now. But I remember a few episodes ago when I counted, it was 24 unique guests, and it's definitely more than that now. So awesome. Because season 2 has been 0 repeats, even though we do love repeats. We love bringing people back, letting you guys get to know them and stuff. So you'll definitely still see the faces, but we've got so much fresh new blood that we're excited to bring in, and that's going to be just as fun. But we've spoken about our favorite people. Let's talk about our favorite moments. So tell me a little bit about some favorite moments of yours of the last 10 episodes.
So I'll jump straight into this. You guys probably watch our episode once and you're like, that was the greatest episode ever. No, I don't know. I'm patting ourselves on the back, but you probably watch our episode once and then that's it. Whereas Vincent edits the episode, so like he
every
watches
episode
them
at
on
least
repeat,
5 times.
yes. And then I do all of the shorts and social media stuff. So we watch the episodes multiple times.
And Jeff watches at least 50% of each episode.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, I support you guys.
So we end up like, as an editor as well, you'll realize there are certain things that just scratch your brain in the right way. And Vincent loves what's the example you always talk about with Faden?
You really hurt me there when you spoke about the crow or something.
Yeah. So there's, for whatever reason, when you're editing stuff,
and it's Michael going, I don't know. I love his voice. I genuinely love Michael's voice.
We love you, Michael.
So there's dumb things that genuinely make you go, ooh, okay, that scratched my brain. And for me, it was actually Gavin in the comic book episode where he's talking about the Joker, and then he's like, but now I have no money.
To be fair, in the scene, he says everything that I need, explosives, gasoline, it's cheap.
Correct.
It's cheap. I don't need this money.
Yeah, because he didn't burn the other part of hiding in the other way.
Cheap still has value.
Cheap still has
He's
value.
just set everything alight. And he's like, it's cheap, but I've got no money.
So, could you, and I understand that scene, and it is.
I don't know why, but that sticks out to me. It scratches my brain, and I've literally, while editing shorts, gone back to that and gone, it's dumb, but I love that one.
There's something about how he speaks that is super wholesome. I agree. Like, he's extremely lovable. I honestly think he's one of the most lovable guests we've ever had on.
But he's such
big
a teacher dad as well, right? Like in how he answers his questions, he's like always thinking about the kids, and you just gotta love that.
Yeah, no, it really comes through. Jeff, what moments stood out for you?
It's also from episode 19, the comic book themed episode. So I don't know if you know this. So that episode, okay, you do know I fact checked that episode, but what you might not know is that I didn't know the guests' answers going into filming that episode. So I did sit there and listen to the answers for the first time. So imagine my shock to the one answer we got to a question. The question being, what is the greatest scene in a comic book movie? I was very happy with Gavin's answer. Chad's was pretty decent. And then we get to my good friend Dol. Dol, I love you. Please don't hate me. I know we are dwelling on this.
I love you too. It's the worst answer we've ever
Dumb
received.
answer.
Can I
worst
continue?
answer.
Unanimously, it's the worst answer Plot Harmer has ever received.
So he answered that the greatest scene in a comic book movie is the cameo of Christopher Reeve as Superman and Helen Slater as Supergirl in The Flash.
So mine is Christopher Reeves and Helen Slater in the multiverse scene in The Flash. Say what you want about the movie, it was dog. But and I don't know the exact timing, but if I could tell someone, if you walked in at 43 minutes, sat for 10 seconds and left, it would have been the greatest movie ever.
Anything to do with the Flash and that multiverse rubbish or whatever, right? Dude, I felt like I was, playing my PlayStation 2, right?
And I'm like, when I heard that, I was
Everybody's
like,
reaction was insane.
what is going on through this man's mind to have answered that? There's so many different options. And I just thought to myself, okay, let's see how he argues it.
He didn't do bad.
He didn't do too bad, but he was fighting an uphill battle.
It's not an uphill
No, it's a
battle.
cliff.
That's a cliff face.
But I don't know. I think it's very personal to him, because I asked him afterwards, why did he say it? And he said, no, because he had met Helen Slater in person. So I understand that personal experience. But to argue to say that if you only went into the movie to see that very scene and you walked out of the movie afterwards, you would think that this is the greatest movie, not the scene. That's
If
what
I'd
he
met
said.
John Travolta, Battlefield Earth would not be my favorite sci-fi.
Yes, arguably true, So I don't know why he answered that, because in my fact checking, I did say to him, like, listen, all the odds are against you here. The Siegel and the Schuster family didn't give consent to them using, Christopher Reeve's likeness, because it was all CGI, because the man's not alive anymore. And it was very, I don't know, it didn't add anything to the story.
And it's genuinely, 4 seconds? It's
yes,
so short.
it's
yeah.
so quick, and I don't know what you gained from that.
It was very cheap, but I will say I don't think any less of him for giving that
No.
answer, because I genuinely think he knows what he was getting himself into. And that being said, he stood his ground on how he felt about it, and I like that he did that. And for what it's worth, he fought almost every other question
No,
better than
argued
most
well.
guests ever have. So
Maybe he
he's
did
not-
it to challenge himself. Who knows?
And so I think I respect him for answering it, but he can respect when we say that it's
Yeah,
just the
no,
worst
listen.
answer ever.
I know all of our answers are subjective, but damn.
Mine is episode 14, I think. It was Warwick, Glonal, Vincent, and Caleb was hosting. And it was the episode where Vincent was not prepared at all, or was like last minute
30-minute
preparation.
notice, yeah.
Yeah, last minute preparations for a guest that cancelled. So it was hilarious, because at some point he was arguing, and then I don't know what happened. It was a crazy episode, very funny actually. And then Vincent at some point was just like, fast words, not good.
Don't make good.
Yeah, don't make it something like that. I'm sure he'll play it.
If Warwick wins this next one, that means Vincent has gone from winning almost every single episode he's ever been on to not winning a single speed round.
That is the first time I've never, yeah.
Yeah. Which,
Yeah. Fast words, not make good.
Slow brain. And then it was so unexpected, because it was so random that everybody if you thought something or to say something, just like, what the hell just happened, and just stopped and laughed. So that was like my favorite moment.
No, because it was
That's
just
pretty awesome.
what happened, if I remember correctly, is it was a speed round. I had a lot to say, did not get me the point, and I thought, okay, if Kevin from The Office taught me anything, then I thought the whole thing, me talk not many words. And then I thought, okay, the sentence I wanted to say is, talking a lot clearly doesn't help. So fast words don't make good. I really enjoyed that episode, because I actually, as much as I hate pressure, really enjoy pressure. And pressure, you guys won't understand this. Pressure? What pressure? Don't worry about
I
it.
thought it was a Queen reference.
No. Under pressure. But I really enjoyed that. That's my favorite episode I ever competed on, because I was on fire. But and we have a very similar one coming up with a similar panel and stuff that I'm looking forward to a lot. My favorite moment from the last few episodes, and I feel guilty that we're highlighting such recent episodes, but I do think it's a reflection of the show getting better, so that's fine. I think it's not it's not a secret that we think the comic book episode that was 2 episodes ago was fantastic. It was genuinely good. It was such a good encapsulation of what plot armor is. The guests were great, so that's great. But the episode that most recently released about, the which live action anime should happen next. But the question from that, which I loved, was when and it's a Caleb written question, very good, is which movie character aura farms the hardest? Now, there's a very few collection of people that we'd be able to ask that question with and it would work. But we genuinely nailed connecting question to guests with these guys. They went on this tirade of why Batman, why Blade, and why Darth Vader are the biggest aura farmers, and they literally for 10 minutes it would be like.
No, well, did you remember when Darth Vader did this?
But let me ask you a question. Does your character X, Y, Z?
Sorry, let me just say that my character once did this, and he could have died.
But Vincent, can I just check something? Has your character
Question. And how many people talk about that scene? Nobody. Thanks for reminding us of that scene.
How many people talk about Martha? How many people talk
about Batman every single day?
Okay, yeah, Tivela, go for it.
Question. How many of you have spent your time preparing a meal, setting it down, to make sure that your daughter and her boyfriend come in at the right moment to give them the biggest scare of their lives?
And it was that for 10 minutes. And the way that Darth Vader was covered in that episode. Yeah. Because the other stuff, it makes sense. They gave examples of how they aura farm. But the reason Darth Vader is such an excellent aura farmer, which Tebello, the guest from that day, argued, is because you do not realize half the things he does is absolute aura farming. And my favorite one being that he literally risks his life so that he could silently emerge. He said the sentence, Darth Vader only lets you hear him breathe when he chooses you to, which is hilarious because he's like, Darth Vader holds his breath in the darkness. And I literally, it's the most fun. That and the crank answer, which whatever, that is what it is. It's just, I've never laughed as much as I did.
It up every single time.
with that episode.
So good.
Genuinely one of the most entertaining episodes to be a part of. But it is that time where the internal people have a little friendly competition in the form of a speed round.
It's not friendly.
It's a very friendly speed round showdown. We keep it fair. And Jeff, you better get your phone out because you're going to be starting this one. Because it will start very, very friendly between Caleb and Vincent. And I plan to just have a good time. I will give my best. But,
friendly.
Whether I win or lose, I love you. I don't take it personally. Let's see what happens. So, Jeff, get 20 seconds ready on your clock. And when you're ready, we know the rules. We wrote them.
Yes, exactly.
And you can take over
So
from
I don't
here.
know if it's going to hit a nerve, but let's see. All right.
No, that doesn't.
Which movie character would be unbearable if they were your manager at work?
J.K. Simmons in Whiplash.
What was
Okay, good.
Okay.
Darth Vader.
Okay, so Terrence Fletcher, J.K. Simmons in Whiplash.
Okay, so I heard Vincent first. Okay, so Vincent, your 20 seconds starts now.
Okay, the thing about Terrence Fletcher is he does want the best for you, but he will do whatever he can to make sure you break before you get there. His top student before Miles Teller killed himself, proven by the courts that he pushed him too far. So you will never see greatness because you are pushed too far. It doesn't matter what the end is because the means will kill you. So that's why I wouldn't want him as a boss.
All right, Caleb, your 20 seconds starts now.
You mentioned already that Terrence wants the best for you, so he's already pushing you to something greater. Darth Vader does not care about you. He cares about his goal, and he will literally climb up corpses of his dead employees to get where he needs to go. Darth Vader literally kills his own employees for the smallest inconveniences. There's a reason why there are literal spoof movies of people being...
Okay, so Vincent, your 15 seconds to rebuttal will start now.
A manager that makes you kill yourself is worse than a manager that kills you. And also, Darth Vader cares about the greater good from his perspective. Terrence Fletcher cares about your personal good. But the problem is a good manager cares about the greater good. Not about where's Caleb going to be, where's the Empire going to be. So it's about everyone working towards a common goal.
All right, Caleb, your rebuttal starts now.
Terrence Fletcher genuinely does care about people. When you look at the end of Whiplash, you can see that he has achieved his goal. He's a fantastic drummer. There is not a single Darth Vader employee at the end of the film that goes, I am so good at shooting the Death Star laser. Darth Vader trained me so well.
Time. Okay. Sure, I'm very torn. Like, you guys did really argue well. Suella, you're going to have to help me on this one.
It's very It's very hard.
This was a perfect Terrence Fletcher example. Get your head there.
Were you rushing? Were you too far or too close?
I think we're gonna have to do it on a count here.
It's really hard. Okay, wait. Because they're good answers. Now I'm just thinking
really
of like
answers.
good arguments. Which one had the best argument? Like,
Okay, so
good.
let's do it on a count. What do you think? On one. So
1, go.
no, 3 down. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Caleb.
Whiplash.
Okay, that's split.
Do we give our reason?
Honestly, because this is no, you don't. Please,
get
I
half
feel
points.
strongly about this. I will say, like, because this is friendly and stuff. This 100% has to go to Caleb. I genuinely think he covered the bases more, and his
Wave your white flag, Vincent.
as my little the hosting in me cannot help but add, like his point on saying, you know, whatever happens, the Miles Teller, Andrew Neiman. You know, it's a worse experience, but Andrew Neiman gets to where he needs to be. There's no example.
There's no good employee of Darth Vader.
No, there isn't. But everybody who's like Hail Vader. Everybody who's like Hail Vader or whatnot knew exactly what they're getting. So they were literally giving themselves to die, and they know they're gonna get killed at some point.
No.
But with this guy, you constantly with him. We're constantly in his space. Darth Vader, you only see him once in a while when he comes.
Okay, so I guess the
When he comes. No, but
that is
thinking.
true. You're not going to deal with him directly.
Yeah.
Because also, like,
That's
No, but the question was, who would be
as your manager?
yeah.
manager. But Suella also says something that's valid, which is fine. You get the point. Is Terrence Fletcher is a betrayal of the heart because you believe.
Because
no
he
one's
builds
going,
you up first. He builds you up first. And then start. No, but
It's
also,
mind games.
But also, we're analyzing this far too deeply. That's the whole point of Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Is Darth Vader builds up an apprentice just to pull the rug out
he
from under
basically
him.
Terrence Fletcher's him in that thing. No, but honestly,
But they were really good answers. They're both really good.
okay.
We did, tap yourself on the back.
You guys did well. You guys did
Okay,
well.
that being said, I do think that we should, seeing that you guys have such opinions, relax. We're going to flip it around and we're going to have Jeff and Suella.
I'm just hoping
battle it out.
Suella's like tired herself out from answering and arguing. But I have some.
Yo, you already have a half point.
Oh damn! I'm at a deficit.
So this is it, this or that.
Okay.
And it's
This or that.
This means one or the other. I'll ask you the question, then I'll get the timer ready so you can think about it a bit. Should subtitles be on for every movie?
Yes.
Oof.
Okay. So, Suella, I heard you first. You have 20 seconds starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, with me, yes, because how I grew up and how I learned to read and English was subtitles when I watched stuff on TV. They were in English. I could hear and understand them, but subtitles helped in terms of like what they're saying and how it's written. So I think it's necessary for us to have them. And sometimes the audio is shit, so you need the subtitles to be able to hear better if you don't have a real good sound.
Time. Okay. Jeff, in 3, 2, 1.
I think it very much depends, but I've said no because like there's been movies where, like for example, there was a movie, I can't remember what it was, where Santa Claus is talking to a deaf girl, but he's using complete actions and the message is getting carried across. And she's totally understand what's going on. So I don't think subtitles are always needed.
Yeah, but I'm not deaf.
Okay,
I got very controversial
Okay,
there.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, but not everybody's deaf, so you can't all understand sign language. You need the subtitles to know what the person is saying on screen. So subtitles are necessary because different languages are different. Even if it's English, it's in French, whatever. Subtitles are necessary to know the point.
Time. Okay, Jeff, in 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to be very subjective. I think when I watch a movie and I know when, like on the weekend, I've got a movie and my brother left the subtitles on, it gets very distracting and I'm not focusing on the movie. I lose track. Yes, it helps in foreign movies, but not necessarily in any type of movie. How much time did I have? Oh, damn it!
Fast words, not being good.
Okay, Caleb, I have a clear answer. What do you think?
Well.
Same. It is very obvious who
Give
the
it
winner
to
is.
Santa
Which is,
Claus
in your
that
opinion?
speaks to a deaf girl.
But you're the judge. You just
No, we can do it together.
Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Suella!
Okay, and now I will say... I just meant we can judge together. I didn't say countdown. But have your showmanship. More power to you.
I
fanfare.
I literally counted it down. So he had 3 seconds to interrupt me.
I'm just like, okay, now I'll share my opinion in 3. It wasn't on purpose. I was just like, okay, if you want to be like that, okay.
I thought we were doing a classic. Let's count down. 3, 2, 1.
I also think so a lot. Just because
you spent 15
no,
seconds.
what the hell
before you got
pointless,
to-
man? No, you see, I saw a movie
There was
about
a movie.
Santa and a deaf girl.
Yes.
So that's why.
But it was like
Okay.
like communicating. Like there was no subtitles. You get the message
like I
across.
thought you'd go the direction of takes away from the visuals or something, or when you go.
I did a bit in the argument, but then
No, but like when you go to the cinemas, there's no subtitles and you're drawn into it. You know, stuff like that. It's interesting argument. The funny thing is, every time Swella's never lost a speed round.
I know.
So maybe you should
I'm
be
very
more confident
intimidated
yourself.
by Suella when it comes to speed rounds.
So well done on that. We will have 2 speed rounds later, but next we will talk about some more questions. And this one, I guess, is your little reward for winning the speed round. Nerd Initiative, someone who has the balls to put themselves out there, wants to know the story about the story and inspiration behind you creating Tebedien.
Tebedien is a passion of mine. I've always wanted to serve people. So I'm a Christian, and I feel like I was called to that. I've always been curious about making drinks. I don't like alcohol that much, I don't drink that much. A glass of wine is enough for me. But for some reason I've been called to do this, and I was like, what the hell's going on? Why am I doing this? And it turns out to be it is a way for me to serve. I build relationships and I get to know people that way. And how I discovered the name was I was editing a wedding, and Afrikaans wedding. So in that ceremony, and it was a time where I was looking for a name, and every time we thought of different names, none of them clicked. So I was like, nah, even though they sounded so great. And then, this one time I was editing a wedding, and the Germany was like, Tebedien, da-da-da-da-da. I was like, Tebedien, that sounds great. I don't know what that means, but that sounds amazing. So I asked one of the girls at the office who's Afrikaans. I was like, hey, what does Tebedien mean? And then she's like, it means to serve. It's not one word, but it just means to serve. I'm like, really? It's like, yeah. I was like, oh, great. That's the name. That's the name for Tebedien, except I'm just gonna make it one word. So that's how it was birthed, and it is still a passion of mine. It is to make connections, to serve people, and we don't know what's to come out from there. Only God knows. So I'm just in that journey.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really like it, and we really enjoy it, and it's a fun little thing to add to bless our guests with. And there's
always an empty glass.
Yeah, I mean, Suella drinks slow, and you never rush your own stuff. A chef never cooks for themselves. We learned apparently recently. Now it's an exciting journey. It's still obviously I want to help Suella as much as I can behind the scenes, and still growing and stuff. But keep asking these questions and push her and wish her luck and pray for her and all that stuff. That is fun. Let's see what the next question is. So I got a peek of it, and it's an interesting one. This question asks, once again, obviously from anonymous, what do you guys do when you're not doing this?
Okay, I think I do a little bit too much. Obviously, my 9 to 5, rather my 8 to 5. We started at 8. Is I'm a full-time videographer and editor. I really love the job. I like to be able to be creative. I like that I get to lead up some teams. But then after hours, I have my own YouTube channel where I do movie reviews. I do video game reviews. I get to work with some absolutely incredible companies, which is fantastic and amazing. I love it. In my free time, I'm busy writing a script for my very first short film that I'm going to be tackling, which is about time travel, and it's a lot. And I'm always like, how the hell am I actually supposed to bring this to screen? But
Grand in scope.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that process. And then I'm on a whole new fitness journey, for the first time.
You're
in a
killing
long
it.
time.
You've been very consistent.
Thank you.
Well
I
done.
do appreciate that. So my goal, I don't have a weight goal or anything like that. I just want to see my abs again. I miss seeing.
Again, must be nice.
And then obviously the biggest one is just genuinely I love spending time with God. I love praise and worship, and something that I really enjoy doing. It's a weird one, but I love just looking for God in the world. And looking for God just everywhere. God is always speaking to us, and He speaks to us in so many different ways. But a big one I love is also just apologetics, which is studying the world to find ways to look at the reliability of the Bible, which is something I really, really enjoy. For those of you that don't know, and this one's genuinely very cringy. I don't know if you're going to show a cutaway. Please don't.
You'll tell me. Yeah.
I'm so passionate about it. My very first YouTube channel ever was on talking about the historical accuracy of the Bible, and it's me with long hair and very Jesus looking. But I'm just that's my big passion. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's cool. Jeff.
So full time, I work in quality management at a tissue paper manufacturing company, and so that really drives me to be creative in my problem solving.
Yeah.
So it's very mentally demanding, and I come home, so I feel very mentally drained, and having sat in front of a computer screen all day is physically demanding as well. So I try to find things that help me unwind, and it has been spending time in the Word, and I do reflect like on 2025. 2025 was the best year of my life, hands down. And I had so many fun experiences and good stories to tell that come from that. But I've been deciding how to approach this year, and this year being that I want to be very intentional about what it is I give my time to, whether it be entertainment. I don't want to spend or invest so much time into a series, get halfway through, and I'm like, this is so disappointing. I really want to know what I'm getting myself into. So I'm being very intentional about stuff like when it comes to watching movies, series, or reading comic books. I have a newfound love again for comic books and reading them, not just for the collecting in terms of the spec market to get return on investments and sell books for profit, but I think just falling back in love with the storytelling because it's been revitalized in the past year, and that's very exciting, and I hope it continues on this trend. Last year, I got invited into the space of plot armor with Caleb, Vincent, and Sowella. Great people. I love them.
The best people.
The best. I walk in a room, I see them, they're great.
But doing all of these things creatively, which I've dreamt of because of loving movies and stuff like that, I think it's really creatively inspired me. I want to start pursuing other things too. Creatively.
Are you breaking up with us?
No, not at all.
I want to start seeing other YouTubers.
No, not that. But like maybe doing a documentary in the future, or just being involved in the space beyond plot armor with Caleb and Vincent in however means necessary. I think it's really helped grow our relationships a lot deeper.
An idea for a documentary is, why don't you take like a bunch of camera people into your paper company, film them over 7 seasons, and see what happens.
Oh wait,
and then they make you call.
That
they call you
sounds like
Michael
such
Scott.
an original idea.
And then they could spin it off into like one in the UK, one in the US, and then like
in Australia, and it doesn't do well.
It doesn't do well, and then you do one that's a different company can steal your idea and do one in South Africa.
Yes. So just spitballing, like, we're creatives, we can't help but dream. So
sounds like $1 million idea, guys.
Yeah. You're gonna make hundreds. So
Kantor has got nothing on us.
Sowella, what do you do?
I am a video editor as well. I edit videos, mostly weddings, but I could definitely edit other things. And then part-time, obviously, when I do have the time, I focus more on Tebedien stuff. And on the side, a bit of photography for close friends.
Yeah, you could take anything and make it sound epic. Don't sound so disappointed. You do very well. She's a very talented video editor.
I also like making friends and learning different languages and like...
Yeah, so we're studying Korean at the moment.
I'm trying to study Korean. It's very hard.
Really prove it. Tell me something.
안녕하세요.
I don't know what.
Why would you say "fuck you" to him in Korean?
But yeah, that's me. I'm still. I don't know. Everything just feels like I'm figuring it out. Even though like it's happening, it's there. I'm doing it. It just feels like figuring it out. So I can't. I don't know how passionate I'm supposed to sound, but I am very passionate and excited about where I am.
No, it's cool. I'm on an interesting journey. I quit my job of 8 years at a very successful production company to pursue filmmaking full time. I've always wanted to make films, and I've always believed that films could be made in a very different way than they are currently being made. So I didn't start as some like gaffer or best boy or PA, whatever you want to call them, on a set, which it's fine. Good for you for pushing through that. I am being cocky and arrogant. I'm like, I'm just going to skip to the part where I write and direct. And I did get the 8 years of experience in spaces like that, so it's okay. And yeah, so I'm fully spending my year at the moment focusing about 20% on plot armor and then 80% on my feature film, which we really have big ambitions for. And it's going to be a screen life movie, which is a movie that takes place completely on a screen, like movies like Searching and Missing. And it is about a young girl who discovers a mysterious entity called Adam on her computer who claims to be stuck and needs her to get him out. But will she lose herself in the process? Watch and find out in like a year. Just follow my journey. When I start posting about it, Caleb will give me shit if I don't, which is valid. But that's also why I'm rewatching stuff like Whiplash and stuff, is just to get into what makes a great movie great. And I definitely have a ton of imposter syndrome and feeling like I am not as talented as the greats. But Whiplash is such a good example of pushing for it and like just giving it your all. One of the reasons I watched it is this concept of you can't have a good relationship with people and be a great at the same time. It's a reason I love that movie, because I've always inherently disagreed with it, but I love how they portray the wrong side of it. And if you watch the movie, I mean, he himself even finds out that if you lose your humanity along the way, you lose yourself. So my challenge is be a fantastic filmmaker and do something great and amazing while having fantastic relationships. I think that's one of the reasons plot armor is so important, because I get to build an amazing relationship with Caleb in and outside of this, with Jeff, and then with Suella. It goes far beyond plot armor, but it's to be a great husband, great father, and a great friend, and a great filmmaker. And I don't want to just stop there. I'm someone that's always pursued all kinds of creativity. I wrote a shitty poetry book. I've made...
It's not shitty. It's not shitty.
It's
right here.
It's actually right there.
I mean, you might as well. It's just I've always had I like the cover.
That's really cool. I'm seeing double.
And yeah, so I've always just had I really want to make board games. I've always wanted to like just pursue all kinds of things. So creativity will always be my full pursuit, and now I've kind of made it my full-time job. Caleb wants to say something.
Yeah, there's something that Vincent and
it nicely
ties it, yes. Yeah. So something that Vincent and I have always felt super strongly about, and by extension, I'm just going to assume that Suella and Jeffrey agree with us, but we have the ability to be creative because we are made by a creator. And so out of Jeffrey's poetry book, I've even highlighted...
Wow. Jeffrey owns this one?
outside of Vincent's poetry book, I've even highlighted this section because it really, really, really spoke to me, which is, he called us all to be creative, for creativity is not just pencils, paintbrushes, and typewriters. True creativity and true creators only come from the creator. And this is called The Last Thing I Write. And that's just one paragraph, but it really
I've written so much more.
He's written so much more. So
I think it's the last poem in the book or something.
Just understanding. And I think the more you start to pursue the creator, the more you can unlock your own creativity, because that's when you start to understand how you are made and what you are made and what the purpose behind your creation is. And so basically take it from a YouTuber and a high school dropout. If you want to be really creative, just know where you're coming from.
Okay, and there's a very, very hard cut here because, as I said, no babysitters. And can you see how much he's grown in 10 episodes? That's 5 months? So 5 months later, that's what he looks like. And if you need more proof than creativity is more than just paintbrushes and shit, this is a creation, a God-given creation, and no paintbrushes were involved. So yeah, we're going to power through. There's going to be a little baby in the background that'll either make you really want to stay for the rest of this, or you can click off now. The view should count at this point. I think we're going into our next speed round, and I'm excited because I get to fight with my wife.
Oh, and, no.
And I get to be the cause.
Yeah. And that means, Caleb, I am handing over to you.
Yes.
We will have a challenge here, so I'll ignore as much as possible.
It's crazy. It's just some behind-the-scenes lore. The last time they had their speed round as well, Micah got heavily involved. Sure.
Yeah,
so Micah's the
really
common denominator in proving who wins their speed rounds. But now this question is tailored specifically to you two, because I know you both have a wealth of knowledge on how to answer this.
Okay.
Interpret the question however you want.
Yeah.
What is the best movie monkey?
Better
Caesar.
Man.
It's fine. I'll go with Caesar. Yeah.
Caesar?
I'd love to argue Better Man, but that's what Suella's going to want to argue.
So I heard from Vincent first. Your 20 seconds start as soon as I press start on the clock, which I completely forgot about. Okay, your 20 seconds
Who's
start.
It's me, right?
Yes, Vincent, you start in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, the greatest scene in almost all of human history is when Caesar goes, "No!" It's a monkey speaking, an ape speaking. I hope that counts as an answer now. That is so impressive, whereas Robbie Williams doesn't stop talking throughout the whole movie. There's no single word he says that's as impressive as one word that Caesar says in the very first time he appears on screen.
Time.
Robbie Williams' monkey is that he sees himself as one because he's a performing artist. Therefore, everybody gawks at him all the time. Everybody fans over him all the time. So he's like, oh, I'm a monkey just dancing around for people's approval. So I think that works better as well because that's what you monkey do.
Monkey do. You have 3 seconds.
So I think that's a better monkey.
Vincent, your 15-second rebuttal starts now.
He's not a better monkey, he's a better man. So the reason that Caesar is a fantastic monkey is because he takes all that an ape is and elevates it to the highest. He never tries to be human, he tries to be the best ape. There is nothing about better man that makes him a monkey except his appearance. It is literally...
Time.
Damn.
Suela, your 15-second rebuttal starts now.
First of all, a monkey that now turns human is weirder than if a monkey is sort of human because there's no weird thing happening. We know that we're getting into this and it's CGI and it's a thing of like, oh, this is how I see myself, this is how I behave, this is how I portray myself to people.
Time.
Chief! I was so short.
That was very good from both parties. I'm going to include Jeff in this.
Okay.
I won't.
But why? But why? What did I ever do to you?
I'm going to do something unorthodox. Suela, tell me what you liked most about Vincent's argument.
I did like the obviously a monkey being treated like that is awful, and the fact that he was around human and with all the injections and all the whatever scientific blah blah blah, he was able to like, oh, I learned from this human, I can speak now. That was pretty cool, even though I don't like that, but it was cool.
I'll tell you what I liked about
What did you like most about Suela's answer? Not the
I will be honest here and say that whenever I do speed rounds, I know that I don't really need to pay attention to the other person. So I literally my formula is step 1, lift up, obviously. And then step 2, when they talk, all you do is think about what knocks their character down. So when I gave my cheesy little, he's not a better man, he's a better man, not a better monkey. That's a line I was like, okay, I've got 15 seconds to come up with a zinger. Go watch all my speed rounds, man. That's what I do. I don't know what she said.
Suela, how do you feel knowing this is exactly how
my
Vincent
arguments
approaches your fight?
Arguments on time usually. They're 2 hours long.
I'm just thinking about what I can say to make sure that he's just so wrong.
It's not Suela focused.
Anyway, no, I will say, Suela, I think you had a much better opening statement, but Vincent, your rebuttal was fantastic. So I'll be giving the points to Vincent, but the real winner is Micah because he said Superman.
I really don't like
What do you
monkeys.
think, Jeff?
Monkey?
I don't like monkeys that are human.
No, I just like the fact
No,
that
I
Micah said
agree with
Superman.
Vincent's argument. I think it was really well argued, so I'll go with that.
Well done, Vincent. You get the point. Micah, vist it.
Superman. Micah, vist it.
Superman.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's do this tradition. Micah, say plot armor.
Built a man.
Come on, plot armor.
Built a man.
Oh, my baby.
Awesome. Okay, so I do believe it is now time for Jeff v. Caleb. Last time we did this, it's been 10 episodes, who cares? We did like 4 speedrun questions because something kept on going wrong. That's not going to happen this time.
There's something going wrong with Jeff.
Yes. Well, and then he
full
went until he was
responsibility.
comfortable with the question, and then
This
he
is
won it.
literally what Jeff did. Oh no, I don't like that question. Oh no. And then finally, when he could get one that he liked, that he knew he could win, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's go
see.
with
So
that.
I had a brain fart.
This, whatever way it goes, that's what it goes. So this question comes from Finn the Human, an old colleague of mine. And the question is, what is the best speech from a movie or series?
Oh, okay, I know it. The Pandorica opens from Doctor Who.
Cool.
The Uncle Ben speech in Spider-Man 1.
Okay, that's a great answer. Okay, so I'm going to start. I heard you first, Caleb, and your 20 seconds starts in 3, 2, 1.
So, hello Stonehenge! Who takes the Pandorica takes the universe. The lightning agrees with me. No, that scene in Doctor Who encapsulates almost 50 years of story. You get to see almost every single villain the Doctor has ever stood up against, and he stares them down as an individual and is able to show them why they should not mess with Earth.
Okay. Jeff, 3, 2, 1, go.
In Spider-Man 1, we had a point where Peter Parker is now gained his abilities, but he wants to use it to make money so that he can press the girl next door. But now he's sitting in the car and he's disobeying his uncle, but his uncle's telling him, with great power comes great responsibility. And that plays with him. But then he goes to this wrestling match and he just ends up losing his uncle.
Time.
There's a lot to argue.
No, that was great. A weird ending. Okay, now to claim Superman. And Caleb, your rebuttal in 3, 2, 1, go.
Your speech might be emotive, but it's not very good considering that Uncle Ben literally says, Peter, with great power comes great responsibility. Then Peter does, okay, I don't care, and proceeds to do his own thing anyway. It might be emotive, but no one actually listens to it.
Time.
I think it is emotive because it carried through the whole trilogy up until the third movie where he had to forgive Sandman because his uncle had said to him, with great power comes great responsibility, you must forgive those that trespass you.
That's the Bible. That's not Uncle Ben.
Publicly inspired!
Honestly, I liked your angle for the most part, but there was too much weird shit, Jeff.
I'm always
okay,
weird
no, but here's the thing.
Give it to me, Vincent!
First of
Give
all,
it to me!
you building up to it and then he dies. And then when you were like, he spoke to his grandfather, his father, his uncle. Oh my God! And then,
but also, I'll be honest with you, it's a great speech. But he doesn't listen to the speech until
but also,
his
you
death
genuinely
is what
just
causes
completely
motivation.
misquoted at the end. Forgive those who trespass you.
I don't know!
It's not at all.
It's literally 2 sentences.
Honestly,
with 1 sentence, 2 phrases.
So the thing is, I was ready to tell Caleb, how many times do you have to lose on the Doctor Hill?
Doctor Who Hill.
Because that's literally what happened last time.
Yeah. I know.
No, but the problem is just I don't know what the hell's going on in Doctor Who, so it's hard to judge. But
so I wouldn't have argued, so I don't know what to say.
You fell on your own sword
That's
there.
alright.
And he rebutted you well there, which is a good point. So Caleb, what?
I won
Hold
Doctor
on.
Who only because Jeffrey's so bad.
Now the last thing we're gonna do is we settle into the end of this episode. So if there's one thing about plot armor, is it's a source of learning about new movies. So I want to ask you, what movie did plot armor expose you to?
Okay, so episode 14 was a very film-centric episode. And it was with Warwick, Lornell, and Vincent standing in at very last minute. And one of the questions in that episode is, what is the best South African movie? And everyone gave their answers, but one that Vincent had given is a movie I had heard about and watched in pieces, but never properly watched, and that is District 9.
Fantastic.
And it's an excellent sci-fi movie, directed by Neil Blomkamp. And it's not a fun watch, but it's a watch that makes you feel uncomfortable. It's very thought-provoking, and I think the whole thing of this journey with Vickers, I think it's Vickers, yes, Vickers. He starts off as a character that's very ignorant, and self-absorbed, but then through this transformation that he goes, you have empathy for the suffering that he has to go through, and it touches on many different things that I think all of us as South Africans can relate to, especially with our history. But I think it was a very good movie. So for its time that it came out, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with what they were able to achieve in the time that they had made the movie and released it. So
I
District 9.
Caleb?
So I want to actually highlight 2 films. The first one being brought up by Lornell, which is Joe Bullitt, the very first all-black cast South African film, was genuinely banned by the South African government during apartheid because they were worried what it would do to the minds of black people in South Africa, which is just so crazy. But I ended up watching it literally the night afterwards. I was so inspired to find it. You can watch it for free on YouTube. But it's basically a South African James Bond. It is very dated, but I just love how it is so authentically South African. I loved the action, no matter how corny it is. I love the very, very old school camera angles and the fact you can just see, we're going to try to do a dolly zoom. It's not working the way it's supposed to. There is this one scene, I will overlay this in the short. I don't know if Vincent will care enough to overlay it here in the episode, where you literally see someone throw a suitcase out the window And then very obviously they have to move the actor away before the explosion happens. So it's just a hard cut. You just see someone disappear from the window before the explosion
But he was safe.
But he was safe. So it's just things like that where looking back, you can see the imperfections in it. But I love the fact that there were these South Africans that were so passionate about telling a story that they just did it. Ramifications be damned. And talking about releasing a film during political turmoil, that brings me on to my second film, which is a film that Paul highlighted, which is On the Silver Globe, which was a film that was for years unfinished. In fact, they only filmed 85% of it before the Polish government, which was communist at the time, decided to try cancel the film and lock it down. But the people that were, the casting crew that were involved with the film were so passionate about it that they literally put their lives on the line to look after the reels and make sure that the footage was actually kept, like the actual film reels was kept, so they could end up editing the film and releasing it. And it's so bizarre. It's also available on YouTube, but if you don't have time to watch a whole movie, just watch the trailer, because the trailer...
Is it available on YouTube?
It is also available on YouTube. It's just so incredibly uncomfortable. Just watching the trailer.
It doesn't feel of this world.
It feels otherworldly. So those are the two films I want to highlight. Joe Bullitt and On the Silver Globe.
That's cool. I'll go next. So I would say I kind of knew both of these existed, but I just love what they both represent. Hello!
Obviously, Micah wants to highlight Superman.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones and Superman.
Okay, so
Superman.
You see Superman.
So I'll my two answers are Doctor Strangelove, which was highlighted by Warwick in also episode 14, and it would be The Great Dictator, highlighted by Lauren in episode 12. And the reason I choose both these things is because they are two movies that have so much to say. They are like 70 years old, and they all like highlight taking comedy to say something very serious about war. And I like how they do it. I like the idea of The Great Dictator, that Charlie Chaplin had never had a speaking role in a movie, and he chose to break that for this because he had something beautiful to say. And then he says something truly beautiful. And even with Doctor Strangelove, I just love how like the picture it portrays, and it has this comedic view on war. And so they're thematic. I think they'd be a good double feature. I'm not someone that delves too deeply into like super old movies. My favorite, like that era of movies, would be 12 Angry Men. Super proper rated. It's not overrated at all. And so I just like what that stood for, and I like them bringing that. Suela?
So I chose On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, and how obviously I got interested. I'm not gonna say that. How I got interested was. It was Russell Cameron and Duncan's episode. At the time, it was the highest rated A24 film. And I remember Russell's comment was like, "What the fuck is that?" I was like, okay, cool, we're definitely going to watch this. So now when we watch, it's a Zambian movie. So when we watched it, it starts off a bit weird, because I'm like, okay, cool, this is a bit of a weird one. The premise is that an uncle died, and then the first thing you see is a girl over the dead body, and there's no reaction, right? She's not sad. She's not reacting at all. It's like, okay, cool. The person just died, and it's so normal. It's so freaking weird. That's what I thought. And then as the movie continues, you learn why they were the way that they were. And it turns out to be that this uncle was like, as you know, in Black communities, when you're the head of the house and you're the big brother and everything, you know, you are the main man, you can't do no wrong, even when you do wrong, especially to women and children. So he was this person. He was not a good person at all, and you find that out later when now at his funeral things are coming out little by little, and you find out that there's these traditional things that people have to do. You have to behave a certain way as a woman, you have to mourn a certain way as a woman in an African culture, and people just impose in your house. Now you have 1 million people in your house who tell you how to mourn and all these sort of things, and then it's just like relatable, because that is exactly usually what happens in African families, where you have to do this is when someone died, you have to behave in that way. You have to respect the person, so you can't say anything bad about them when it's their funeral. If something bad happens, no one needs to know, because it will embarrass the family, blah blah blah, things like that. So it was quite relatable, and having watched that at a time where it was the gender-based violence movement, it was quite like, okay, cool. It starts really from home, because we as people will we will become victims, and then we don't out the perpetrators. So that's what it was. So I thought it was really good in that front. They dealt with the situation really well, because you get frustrated, you get upset, you get sad, and you're like, why is this happening? Why is everybody allowing this? Why is the person the way that they are? And it's just a true thing of like, sometimes you just have to become a guinea fowl and cry out for, if you see there's a problem, shout it out, along those lines. But yeah, I thought it was a great one, Zambian, subtitles and all. Jeff. So I think everybody should check it out. That's what I learned.
That's awesome. So that's another 10 episode look back recap. It's been a bit of a chill one. Micah stayed good for 70% of it, and now he's like all up into dragons. But it's been a fantastic one. Our drinks are empty and we're thirsty for more. And so thank you for Tebedien for that. Thank you for Tebedien for that. Thank you for Tebedien for that. And we're very excited for the next 10. Already have a good idea of what they're going to be. And there's super cool guests coming up. Comment some guests you've got in mind that we can pursue, South African based for now, or people who really want to fly through to come talk to us. We also obviously want to say thank you to God, who is the main reason, motivator, and foundation of what Plot Armor is and always will be, the foundation of it. And so we will never stop, I'll never get tired and never want to stop praising him for what this is, and for the people he brings together and the Plot Armor babies he puts on set. So thank you, God, for that. And yeah, exciting times ahead. I'm looking forward to season 2. I think it's going to be a good one. Really like the new CI. Guess we could have gotten into that, but we can do this again another 10.
Just in closing,
see you in another 10.
In closing, we'd just like to say the beginning of season 2 has been
thank you.
Fantastic. So thank you so much to everyone that supported. We grew double.
Yeah, we doubled in
one episode. So thank you. We because of that, we've got big hopes for season 2. So don't let us down.
Let's keep it going. Keep watching, and if I'm not a monster. Hello. If you have ideas for what would make it better, what currently makes it worse, let us know and we'll consider it. Because we do care what you think, and we make this for the people who love movies as much as we make it for ourselves, you know. So your input is valuable. Thank you to everyone sitting on the couch. Thank you, Caleb, for the early morning McDonald's breakfasts while writing This Is a True Story guests and episode ideas on the back of slips. And just having a passion for this and all that we do as we do it. Same time, 10 episodes from now?
Yeah, boy.
Awesome. See you guys there.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Plot Armor. We really hope you enjoyed it.
I know we did.
If you haven't yet, please make sure to subscribe to the Plot Armor YouTube channel.
And if you want to see the season that just ended, go click on the season 1 playlist.
And if you have any strong feelings about the topics we tackled in today's video, make sure to comment them down below.
We will enter the Battleground once again next Monday. Bye-bye.